Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Honestly the Podcast with your host Zena, aka Top Tier Z, where I keep it raw, I keep it real, and I keep it risky. Today's conversation is with someone who just hasn't talked about pivoting. She's lived it in real time, unapologetically and publicly. From author to entrepreneur, to stepping into tech and creative direction. This journey hasn't been linear and it hasn't been easy, but it has been intentional. All right, so welcome to China.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me again.
I know.
Years later, right?
Yeah, it's been like
I made it.
4 years, 5 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
And a lot has changed. So
A lot
we have
has
a lot of
changed.
catching up to do.
Sure do.
Okay, we're gonna do my fast five. Would you rather you let me know your preference and we keep it pushing?
Okay.
All right. First one, would you rather sneakers or heels?
Heels.
I knew that.
I'm 4'9", 11". So yeah, heels.
Would you rather start over in a new industry with no experience or stay in your current field but feel unfulfilled?
But feel unfulfilled. I mean, I'm pivot all day, big pivot.
Okay.
Yeah. If it doesn't, if it doesn't apply at that moment, I'm ready to change it up.
Starting over.
Yeah.
Got that. Would you rather be misunderstood or constantly have to explain yourself?
I'm older now, so misunderstood me. Yeah, it's okay.
Easy breezy.
Yeah, it's all right. You don't got to get it.
Okay, would you rather date someone who's emotionally available but broke or successful but emotionally unavailable?
Oh, Lord. Well, but broke, how broke is he?
I mean, you're carrying the relationship.
Oh,
He's not contributing. Maybe like 10% financially.
I don't want to carry. I'd rather just be single. Is that an option?
No.
I don't like emotionally unavailable men as well. Jeez. I guess we take a little money for a little bit, I guess.
So, successful but emotionally unavailable. For now.
Damn, for now.
For now.
It's networking.
Because it's not what you know.
Yeah, it's networking. There we go.
I like that.
Thank you.
Okay, lastly, would you rather reinvent yourself every 5 years or build one version of yourself forever?
Reinvent, because I think that we always are evolving, so you have to evolve with time. You have to. So.
Okay, well, that sums up my fast five.
Yes.
I like your answers.
Thank you.
Quick.
Thank you.
The girl knows what she's about.
Okay.
Speaking of reinvention, you've actually embodied this in real time over the last few years. When you look at your journey from your first book, right, from college girl to stripper, entrepreneur, embracing the journey and avoiding the shortcut, to book number 2, F It, I Got the Job, the silver lining and going backwards. And now book 3, for real this time, standing on business and making a decision.
Right.
Right? Each title tells a story
That's right.
in itself. But more than that, they capture different versions of you at different seasons and a different time in your life. When you look back at each version of yourself that wrote each book, who were you, what you believed, and the way you moved?
I'm exactly who I say I am in that book, because it's what I'm like living in that moment. Actually, the third book is not written, so it's just I'm working on it. And again, I'm living it right now. So that's why I was like, I had to pause and be like, okay, you don't want to pre-write it because you want to be authentic, right? You want to talk about the journey you are going through now. So again, going back to I'm exactly what I am when I'm writing that book. So I was the college girl who was thinking about a shortcut when I wrote that book. It was years later, but I was still kind of like reflecting on that. And although I wasn't in school, I was still going through that journey of that's my first pivot and I want to do it fast. Yeah. But then I learned that there's no such thing as a shortcut. So then after I got the job, I had to go backwards a few times, and embrace that. I had to learn to embrace that and not look at it as a failure. You know what I mean? So I was that person who was working, I think when I wrote the book, I was working at the airport, but I was there for
Which one or two? When
the second one.
after they got the
After
job.
I got the job, that's right. I went, and I actually wrote the beginning of the book when I was in the lobby of Outback. I used to surf, and if you've read the first book, right, I spoke about that. So I was like, you know what? I just need some quick money. I'm going to have to go and surf real quick. And I was waiting for an interview when I started the introduction of the second book. And I was, you know what I mean? So I was living that. But I had a few jobs that I had to go back, and I was kind of discouraged, like, it's like I was trying to move forward for something and then with something, and then something happened. Life happened, and I had to pivot. But I started to learn that sometimes there's a beauty in going backwards, which is why the silver lining in going backwards is a real thing.
Yeah.
And now I am making a decision, and I am standing on business with what I want. So finding my purpose, which to me is storytelling. I think out of everything that I've done, I've learned to tell my own story in all of those things. So now I'm just trying to tell it and find a system to help me tell it, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think the beauty in going backwards, especially when a couple of years have passed and you've evolved and you've grown, right? And it's more of sometimes more, there's more wisdom, and there's a confidence, I feel like, as you get older that develops over time.
Yes.
And when now you're like, I know what I want. Like,
Absolutely.
there's no if, ands, or buts, like you're clear, right? And I think it's all about perspective and how you look at that. What some may say, you take 2 steps forward to take maybe 3 steps back.
That's right.
Yeah. That's like
That's a chapter.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I want to know, who is LaChina now in this moment?
Okay. LaChina is confident. LaChina is okay with figuring it out as I go. LaChina has more experience. LaChina is in her soft era too. Like I think what makes a soft girl era is not just matchas and getting your toes and nails done, but it's really
Pilates.
yeah, you know what I mean. It's about planning and creating systems and doing things, making it easier for yourself, right?
The future self.
That's
present
right.
And
Present and future self. So I'm kind of like in that space. Like I'm LaChina's in a space where she's trying something new. I'm doing something different. Like you said, one of the questions were, would you stay and pursue, like just for fulfillment, or I might have changed it up a little bit, but
would you rather stay in an industry even if you're not fulfilled, or
right. And that's not me. I think that my goal is to be happy, not fulfilled, because I think fulfillment changes. If you can find happiness in what you're doing all the time, you'll be more at peace and soft. So that's kind of where I am. And yeah, LaChina is standing on business. LaChina's not playing no games either. This LaChina, she's not playing. But yeah, that's who I am. I'm here. I've arrived.
She is the moment. Okay. What would you say is your big girl pivot? When did this
happen?
Yeah.
I want to say about, I think 2 years ago. I remember, because I've kind of lost my spark for a little while. I wrote the book, and then I was like, something that was exciting. And then I lost my spark again, and it was like,
What does that feel like?
To lose your...
You lose your spark.
Imposter syndrome, feeling like you can't do it.
Worthy.
Yeah, right. You're not worthy, or you can't do it anymore, or it's just not. Maybe it's not this, and that's discouraging, right? And it's weird because a lot of people who go through that are people who've done it, who's had proof, but it happens to all of us.
I think a lot of people can maybe afraid to admit it, but I do think it's something we all experience at one or some points in our life, because especially as you pivot and you grow, it's uncomfortable, right? And you question yourself, you question, do I deserve this? Did I work hard enough for this? And I actually have a whole different segment.
Okay.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, but I guess I decided that what is one thing that stuck out from everything that I've done, from beauty, wellness, fitness, mentorship, entrepreneurship, and what else? Writing. And again, it kind of like buckled down to telling a story. You know, like I got tired of being burnt out and having to be everywhere. So I had to, make a decision with myself and say, all right, what is that one thing? And it was storytelling. But like, how can I make it a thing? Do I continue to do everything that I was doing, or do I stop? And I never stop. It's just more so of creating a system so that I can show it in different ways. So maybe fitness might not be me teaching, but it might be my journey, or maybe dance might not be, again, me teaching, but it's me choreographing for someone else as a creative director. Or y'all seeing more TikToks than me trying. I can't do TikToks worth a damn. Like, I cannot. I'm like, dang, people are not gonna know I can do. I cannot do it.
Wait, why not?
I don't know. I can't get.
It's just too fast. You can't get.
I don't know. I just do not look good. But yeah,
me either. So we understand. And you a dancer. So.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't get it. Like, but yeah. So I decided like I want to make this shift that I've never done before. Putting all my eggs in one basket, which is storytelling. But because of my experience of all these other things, I get to tell stories in different ways. Yeah. So it's not too far-fetched. So I still get to be me, but with just one umbrella.
I really like that because it's like taking all your skills and like putting it under one umbrella, making it work for you, right? And it's still, you're still fulfilling so many all those different parts under that one thing.
That's right.
Right? I love that. So what is your thing now?
I'm a tech bae.
Okay.
I'm a tech bae. But really, right now I am collaborating creative direction and project management. Okay. But I am currently like to enhance my project management because I'm still like studying to take my PMP.
What's your PMP? What's it?
Project management. It's a project management certification. Okay. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I am taking data analytics in a tech boot camp right now. Shout out to the Knowledge House, yeah, it's not too far-fetched. It does enhance. I think it allows me to be able to have technical conversations with certain clients. And I guess that's what I want to do. I want to stand out. I don't want to just have, the basics. I want to be able to be versatile because that's who LaChina is. Yeah. Somebody who can speak different languages. So, yeah, I just want to be able to position myself. So that's what I'm doing. It's very tough. It's literally a new language. Python is kicking my ass. I'm just like, I was good at math, but it's like, this is crazy. But data's everywhere. Yeah. So I had to kind of like step back and even advocate for myself with the professor and say, or the instructor, and say, all right, I'm here for project management. Some people might be here for data engineering, or I'm not. Yeah. But I do know there are certain skills that works for me. So how do we make this work where I don't feel like I'm struggling with things that I don't need, So, yeah, we spoke about it. And I think it's about just knowing what you want and just advocating for yourself. But it is tough. But I do believe that, again, I'm storytelling as a creative director, but now I'm learning project management because that's the system behind creative direction. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Also, like brand strategy. Brand strategy work. Again, that requires systems. Like everything requires systems. A system. And I remember seeing younger me when I was doing the college girl, the lipstick line. Yeah. And when I was doing dance, I always said, I wish I had a team, or a system. I would be so far. And I did everything on my own. Yeah. So if I had these systems, I would have seen different. It would have just been easier. It would have been soft. So I'm learning. You got to not repeat the cycle, but you have to kind of step back and do something different and make a pivot.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm doing.
And also what you're doing now, you can contribute to
absolutely
the college girl of this era, right?
That's right.
Or, young women who need those systems that don't even know where to start, right?
That's right. Yeah.
To get to that. Okay. Tell me the story of how you got into tech. You when we spoke, you told me you went to this golf tournament for the mayor of Hempstead, and you met someone, right? And you you use your networking skills, and that piqued your interest. So
I was a part of a committee for Mayor Hobbs in Hempstead. I was doing nonprofit work actually, and I made that connection. You know what? That's how I made the connection. It wasn't a nonprofit gig, but it was through that and the connections I had. We were asked to be a part of the committee for the second year. And it was so funny because I did not speak to that guy per se, who's now my mentor. I didn't speak to him directly at first. I was talking to another guy that was at the table, it was so funny because when things are destined, like it just happens. Like so I was driving in the cart. Now, see, I was at a golf tournament, but I didn't say I could play. I didn't say I knew the rules. You know what I mean? So, like, apparently when you're driving in certain zones, they stop your cart. And I just was like, okay, let me back up. And they're like, yo, why is she backing all crazy around this course? So someone came to me and was like, hey, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, because I ended up calling my mom for something. And I just was having a regular conversation, but like dead smack in the middle of it. He's like, you're fine? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And then that guy was the guy who I ended up connecting with. And then we sat at the same table, and I told him that I had just I was taking a Coursera course for project management, and this is the pivot that I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And then he pointed me to this other guy. And, I didn't say much to him. I kind of just waved or whatever. And I used to be really bad at keeping connections, and I was very honest with him. So it was a few weeks that passed, and I wrote him on LinkedIn, and I was like, hey, and I made a little joke, something like, I'm not good at this, but I think I need to hit you now. It's kind of like, I think that if I want this to work, I need to write you before it's too late. So we laughed about that, and I met with him at his company, and he taught me tech through a diagram in like 5 minutes. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. I think I heard of this. And he kind of just shared a few things with me, which was the boot camp that I was in now, that I am in now. And it was crazy because I was trying to get into another one that he mentioned, and it didn't work out. And I ended up going to this orientation, and I did the prerequisites to get in or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm here. I'm a fellow, data analytics fellow. But yeah, so we've been in touch, and he's just really a cool, laid back guy. And he's one of us, right? And just like his goal is to kind of connect the youth and like just our people to the tech industry, with or without experience. So I think I did like that, and I fell in love with that. So I am happy that I reached out to him, and and been in contact ever since. It's really good. So more of the story is talk to people.
Yeah, no.
Talk to them.
Mm-hmm. I think we sometimes are like so nervous or like, I'm by myself. I don't want to go somewhere by myself. I love going places by myself.
Right.
Like I'm a little crazy. I just be in
nothing wrong
with
that.
You know what I mean? Like I like talking to people because like exactly, you just never know who you can meet and what they can do for you. And sometimes, especially as Black and brown people, I think when you see other people in those spaces, right? Like for a long time when I thought about tech, it was like Silicon Valley and not really Black and brown women especially, right? So I do want to ask you, how do you maintain your confidence as you're like learning something new?
Okay, so this is funny because that's a great question, because now it's forcing me to remember to be confident. I think, and I'll be honest, I'll be transparent, that it's been really hard because I had some things prior to that I was looking to do, and then not that I didn't think that I was going to get accepted, I just didn't know the timeline. And it kind of made things a little bit harder to balance. It's been a year since I've learned something new. And when I used to learn, I didn't have to work so hard. I was just, things came easy to me. Yeah. Right. Even when I wanted to be lazy, when I was in high school and I was lazy and doing absolutely nothing, I was ranking number 5. It's like, how? So I was like, okay, so now as an adult, I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to comprehend things, trying to just receive information is a lot more difficult. Yeah. So it can be discouraging. So having a great support system, having people to remind you to be confident that you got this, not second guessing yourself. I think the instructor always say, he's been saying like, trust your gut. If you thought that was the answer the first time, then most likely that's the answer. So, and he's right. Sometimes I'm like, is it that? Oh, I was going to say that. He's like, you should have said it. So, it's just, again, the support system. Because sometimes you're not going to believe it when it's new. Sometimes if it's harder, and then at other times too, talk your shit to yourself. Can I speak?
Yes.
Okay,
girl.
I'm a cursor. But you have to talk some life into yourself. Be confident. Have the audacity
Yes.
Okay, I'm learning
Be
audacity.
delusional.
Yeah, yeah. You have to be audacity because that's what's going to carry you.
Yeah.
So if I'm transparent, like it varies different days. Just like today, I was talking to my mom and I was like, I just don't know. And she's like, you got it. And I was like, I don't think so, girl. She was like, yeah, but you just said. I'm like, yeah, but then I forgot. Like 30 minutes later, I forgot the point I was making or how. But I mean, it just comes with practice.
Yeah.
So if you're not confident, you have to just practice more, I guess.
Yeah, you got to build that. You have
Yeah.
to build that.
Yeah.
And I've been like getting more into just seeing myself a certain way because I think how you see yourself, it kind of forces other people to see you
That's right.
that way as well, you know? And so it's like, when you're like talk your shit, it's like, yeah, I got this. I could do that, right? Like, I mean, I full transparency, they know. I took like an entire half of the year off last year from podcasting.
Okay.
And I think a lot of it was imposter syndrome in addition to just not feeling inspired, you know, or motivated. I was just like, I want to explore other hobbies and other things I enjoy doing. And the entire time I'm like, damn, I actually miss podcasting so much. Like,
I'm happy you're here.
I just have to get back into it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think like when you start something or when you're like working on something, you have this vision in your head of how you want it to be, how it should be each and every step of the way. And that's just not the reality.
So true.
You know, it's just like, it's gonna be a roller coaster. It's not linear. And you have to learn how to adapt and move with it.
Yep. Life is teaching me project management, you know, that your biggest project.
Yeah.
Pay attention to that. That might be the next book. Okay. But you are, and you always have to pivot and prepare yourself for risk management. So things like that. Like we are living projects, you know, and things are not going to always be smooth sailing. So, yeah, you just have to, you know, be ready.
Roll the punches.
Yeah.
Speaking of that and being a project, I do want to highlight you having ADHD, right?
She said neurodivergent, babe.
Yeah, but I love how you like customize it so it's not so heavy and stigmatized. You know, it's like it's cute. It's minuscule. That's my word. But I think especially in tech where it requires you to focus and like be productive and there's a lot of structure. That's right. As you've been pivoting and you've been learning and you've been doing the boot camps and the tests and so forth, how has ADHD shown up in that process for you?
Oh, God. Time management. So here's the thing. We spoke a lot about imposter syndrome, right? Where we don't feel motivated and things like that. That is also a symptom of ADHD. So like here you are, people are on the outside, like you're doing a great job and you know that you look good and da, da, da. And it's like I'm busting my ass to get this one thing done and you guys are like, oh, you're doing great. It's like, no, you know what it takes for me to do this, to focus on one thing or to feel like doing it? Because I think what the thing is like we're constantly with ADHD, you're chasing dopamine. Yeah. So you do shit when you feel like doing it. Yeah. And that's not, how do you be successful like that, right?
It's hard.
You know, so with tech, there's so many things that makes it so much harder. You're with the functions and the methods and the letters and all of that stuff, and it's all on a screen, and it's one screen, and you got two screens. It's crazy. It's like I'm like, oh, this is too much. Or where am I looking? Or okay, what do I do now? The colors, you know, it can be intense. Yeah. Again, time management, because you do need the time. You have to know the time you need to study, unless you've been doing this. And even now, I think you're always learning. So there's a few people in the program who's been doing this for years, but they're learning something new. So it's just, it's tough. You just have to kind of like take some breathers, pause for a second, you know, and just regroup. And that's the most I can say, because it is tough. It's tough.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's tough.
I can imagine. You speak a lot about systems, right?
Yeah.
I do want to ask, what, if any, systems, habits, or just mindsets you've put in place to support yourself instead of fighting against how your brain naturally works?
A lot of talking to yourself, kind of just thinking out loud. It's like talking to yourself like, damn, neurodivergent, babe, for real. No, but really a lot of like thinking out loud, you have to remind yourself like, okay, LaChina, no, I know you want to go and do this graphic, but it has nothing to do with what you suppose. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I would stop. If I want to know why mosquitoes are doing what they're doing, I could be taking a test. I am going to go and Google about the mosquitoes because I have to get it out. Like, so it's just, so sometimes you have to talk to yourself and think out loud and kind of just remind yourself of your schedule. Then you have to schedule. You have to have schedules for everything, and it's like that battle with, am I going to snooze or am I going to listen? And just remembering why you are doing this will help you make that decision, like, all right, no, you're going to take your break if you need to. Also scheduling breaks. There's a system that we use, which is, I don't want to say the name wrong, but pretty much when you're studying a lot of material, you pause for 25 minutes, every 25 minutes, and you take a break, and then you come back. I think it's called, I don't want to say it wrong because it's on camera, and you guys it's gonna always be there. And so I'm like, that girl is slow. And my mind is like, so yeah, we're not. But I'll find out later, and I'll just put in the comments or something.
Yeah, or you can tell me, and I can put it when I edit.
I think it's, no, Perdomo. I think it's Perdomo. Prodomo. Yeah, see, we're not gonna do it, but yeah,
it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, but it's it's a way of studying. What I did like, what I've learned in this tech boot camp was that they gave us. There was our first 4 weeks was called Foundations, where we kind of, instead of throwing us in the wild with the wolves, they kind of had us reflect, self-reflect and learn. How do we learn? Because again, we're all adults. Yeah. It's different from when you were younger. Your mind changes, how you interpret things change, how you understand things change. So we were able to kind of like focus on that for a few weeks. And it was kind of, at first you're probably like, why are we doing this? But it was like, we needed that because now we know different systems that we can use to learn and to study. Yeah. And that was one of the things. So when I started doing my project management Coursera course, I woke up at 4 and I would study for 4 hours.
4 a.m. to 8
4 a.m. to... Yes, straight, right? That's terrible.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have to retain those and you have to remember. Yeah. Right? So now I'm learning to take 25 minutes out of the 4. If I want to do 4, every 25 minutes I break. Okay. So that works. So yeah, that's like another system that I'm trying to learn, or I think that's what did I answer your question?
You did.
Because my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You got to it. Yeah. And I also want to touch on debugging the brain, right? Ooh, debugging your brain in your Divergent series that brings awareness to mental health and entrepreneurship and tech.
Right. So it's something that's coming, right? So now that it's out there, you guys have to hold me accountable for it.
That's what I do.
That's right. But yeah, I finding out that I'm a neurodivergent bae. And seeing there's so many people like me, right? Sometimes just in our culture, we're told to, it's something you brush off. It's something you joke about. It's like, oh, you're all over the place. It's cute. Even when I was in my 20s and I'm doing all of these things, it was like something that was normal to me. And then when I had to slow down and do one thing, it's like I am dying. It's like, no, I need to do. And it's like, no, that's not how you succeed. So debugging the brain is something that I look to introduce to, I don't know, maybe I might get on YouTube. I don't know. But something that
you would do really good.
You think so?
Yes.
People say
there, or like Substack where you're writing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about it.
You never considered Substack?
I didn't even know about Substack.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, no. So you have to tell me. Yeah. So, something that kind of brings awareness of how we're affected, maybe in a joking way, maybe some facts. I think that's important to know because, again, if we don't do the work, we don't know, or we're ashamed of it, or, it's not that serious. It's our normal, but sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves and say, this shit is not normal. Like, something's wrong. Why I want to find out why mosquitoes are doing this in the middle of a test. Like, that's crazy. So, I look forward to doing that, just bringing awareness to that in a fun way. Yes.
Which we need for sure, because I do think it is a more fresh conversation in the Black community, especially, right? Because, as you said, a lot of it is just, you're all over the place, or it's
Mm-hmm.
no one takes it seriously.
Right.
And I do love that the girlies are claiming it
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
working around it, and showing that it's okay to have that
Mm-hmm.
and also be productive and you can
Yes.
get it done.
Mm-hmm. As women too, I say women, we function well. A lot of women actually have ADHD, and we function well, but it doesn't mean that it's not challenging. So I think, to me, as long as if you find something or you see something that's, I don't want to say that's wrong, but something that's overly challenging, it's okay to kind of step back and try to figure out what it is so that you can tend to it. It doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. It's just about what system can I put into place so that I can be better. And that's just what, where I am with it. So, yeah.
I respect that.
Thank you.
Okay. Last time we spoke about your first book,
Okay.
you mentioned you wanted to date more, and you had the MCM chapter. And did you end up dating? Tell me about relationships.
I
What's going on?
did. I did, and I
How long did that last for?
okay. I knew it was history for a little bit, so it was like more of those years. But I think an intentional relationship was about a year. You don't have that much time to be keep playing, so it's like I just need a year for you to show me, and even that might be too long. But,
A year is kind of long.
no, but it depends on. Okay, and that's true. It depends on like what you guys have going on and what the goal is. But I can say one of the lessons that I've learned is believe people the first time. Because then that 1 year would end up being 5 years. People would, like, so you have to be like, all right, well, if you didn't do this in a year, you're not going to do it next year. Like, you're just not. And I think a year is fear based off, like, again, depends on your relationship with the person, your love for the person, your goals you guys have together, the things that you've talked about, but you have to pay attention to action, not words. And then, it might be tough, but you have to pull yourself out of whatever's not aligning with you anymore. So, yeah, so I did, and I did. But yeah.
Okay, what would you do differently now that you're older, you're more intentional? What would you do differently in dating?
I don't want to be redundant, but just kind of believing people the first time. Okay, I'm kind of like, I've been going on dates. The audacity that's out there is crazy. Like, I'm just like, oh, wow. Like, really? Like, this is nuts. How old are we? So, as much as you can laugh it off, as much as you kind of want to, I guess another lesson really quickly is grace. You can give grace, but it has to be earned. I think that giving grace all the time, like people, you have to, it's a reason. Yeah, you know what I mean?
And they take advantage of
They
that
do.
too.
They do.
Because it's like you keep giving grace when it's not deserved or it's not earned. It's like, okay, well, I can keep doing what I do, and she's gonna keep excusing it. It's kind of like enabling.
That's right.
Behavior,
So
right?
you can give grace, but know when to not or to pull back. Yeah.
Do you prefer to be single or in a relationship?
Right now, I think single is like working for me. I just don't have the time, and I do believe you're going to make time for whatever unless someone comes in and makes my life a lot easier, which I would need.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's really tough. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how to eat. Like, oh my God, okay. My mom is like, oh, I can't live like this. When is your class done? Are you gonna eat with me? So it's just stuff like that. It's tough, and people don't think that you're telling the truth, but it is really tough. Yeah. I mean, love is beautiful.
It is.
It is. If I can find someone who has mutual love and values, then I would definitely. But right now, yeah, single's gonna work for me.
Do you think the ending of your relationship kind of propelled you into this next journey with like the tech and, finding something else, right? Like for me personally, I know when I'm done with a relationship or just a situation, it's like, okay, I get this burst of energy, like a rebirth kind of, right? And I've a different confidence too when I want to explore. So did that have any role to play?
Yes. It didn't happen right away. I think, in fact, I wasn't motivated for a little bit because I didn't know. I knew that I needed to be a different version. I didn't know what that was. So that did slow me down. And I didn't want to do things because we had a lot of things that mesh. I didn't want to do things because of that. I wanted to do it because I wanted to do it. Yeah. So I didn't want to be doing like, oh, well, we were working on this, or he said that that I could do this, or yeah. So, and he also was like somebody who was into tech too. But even then, I've always been like that in the relationship. Was like, okay, I like what you're saying that I can do, but it has to make sense to my journey. It can't be because you want me to be your protege. You know what I mean? So, because if it doesn't work out, I don't want to be living your dream.
That part.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, here we go again. Yeah. But, I answered it?
You answered it. This is so funny seeing it in real time. Like, I don't think I've ever. Damn, I might have ADHD myself because the why me forgetting things.
Yeah.
I'll edit it and put it where.
Okay. Let him see it. Let him see it. This is how it is.
Well, yeah. This is the real.
Okay,
this is the real. It's like, as you're saying, I think something you said that stuck out to me was that you don't want to feel like you're living their dream,
right?
Or like just being someone's protege. Because I do feel like if something starts that way, that's all it's ever gonna be. Especially the more successful you get, when things, when you're on the up and up. It's like the ego, man. It's you. I'm sorry, but y'all and y'all man and y'all ego, y'all.
Okay. We love. Listen, the older I get, I mean, you guys are loved. You're loved. But yeah. Damn, I had the answer again, but I just was doing conclusions. I like to do conclusions, But yes, It came eventually. It did spark something, but it didn't happen right away.
Right away. Okay. I do want to ask you, what does going backwards actually look like in real life?
It might look like getting a job. It might look like going back to your innocence. Like, say, sometimes people grow up and they were, they draw, they write. It's okay to kind of revisit what made you happy when you were younger sometimes, because that gives you a spark. Sometimes going backwards means staying stagnant and not feeling bad about it, because, I mean, time is always going to move forward. So even though you are going back, if that makes sense. Right. So, yeah, doing things that you might have been ashamed to do and owning that. It's like, damn, somebody going to see me here. They're going to be like, that's the China and you have to be like, yes, like, okay, hey girl, I'm here. And then, you know that you're here for that moment. But yeah.
Because sometimes being in the backwards moment, like, it allows you to see further. You get to be more strategic. You're not as impulsive.
That's right.
Okay, let's go back to imposter syndrome.
Okay.
Right? Because your second book, chapter 6, is called I Lied on My Resume.
Yes.
Which, if you know, you know. I feel like we've all done that at some point in time, right? In those moments where you feel like, damn, this is more than I signed up for, how do you manage and push through? How do you just keep going? Because sometimes it can be discouraging, right? And I think that's what those of us who do suffer from imposter syndrome, that's the part where you let it get to you, where it's like, hey, I'm not going to do anything because I don't feel like it. I don't know what's next. Right? So,
sometimes it's not the work you do. Sometimes it's a random text that you get from someone that reminds you of something you did. And that happens at the right time, all the time for me. Like, I remember I had someone kind of write me from, I think they live in Vegas. And they were like, oh my God, I remember you. You're the college girl. And it was so inspiring to watch your movement. And I still have my lipstick. And I'm just like, like, I needed that. Yeah. Never stop what you're doing. And I'm just like, really? Or like my niece, she wrote like a little note and she drew like the college girl logo. And it was like, never stop shining. It's like, so finding those things like just randomly when you're like, I don't know what to do, or I feel like, what am I going to do next? Or am I doing the wrong thing? Or did I do all of this for nothing? So finding those things, or just having certain conversations, or people asking you, what's next because they're used to you kind of doing things. It, you know, that can kind of like boost your or spark your light
your flame.
there we go, light your flame.
Kindle that fire.
That's right. So, you know, sometimes it's not you, sometimes it's the people around you, and it happens, you know, when it's supposed to.
Yeah, I think that's part the most,
Yeah,
more than anything else. When it is time, that's when it happens. Because you could get, you know, those inspirational texts, right, or just motivational posts, whatever. And if you're not ready physically, like all of that means nothing.
Right. And I think I say that in my book. I forget what chapter because I've been doing so much. But I believe it's the imposter syndrome. If you don't believe, as much as people can believe in you, you have to believe in yourself or it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But sometimes people believing in you helps you. So you have to receive that. And sometimes you don't have to do the work to try to get out that funk. You just have to sit still. Yeah. I've learned that things came to me when I just wasn't trying anymore. Yeah. Not defeated, but just kind of like, let me just take a moment, let me pause. You know, sometimes we're like, oh my God, God is not talking to me. What is he talking to? He's not saying anything. I'm doing this. And it's like, but you know, it just comes in different ways. Yeah. So yeah.
Sometimes, and again, he's talking, you just have so much going on, you can't hear it, right? Yeah. And I think that's why, like, the older I got, like, that hustle bustle culture of, like, being booked and busy, I gotta go, I gotta be on the move, it's like, it became less appealing to me, because I'm like, I'm burnt out, I'm losing myself, I'm focused on everyone else except myself.
So true.
And you lose your direction. You know, and I think direction is so important, because how do you know where you're going without it? True. What are you looking forward to in your next chapter, you know, next book series? What can we look forward to?
I'm looking to building my project, right? My biggest project. I'm looking to embrace the systems. I really would love to see how this works because I lived a life where I freestyled most of the time. So to have discipline, and it's so funny because I was disciplined in ways, but it was my crazy way. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was just like, today I feel like doing this. You know, whereas like, no, this month you're going to focus on this. This quarter you're going to focus on this. This weekend you're going to focus on this. You're going to do it this way. You're going to take a break so you can do whatever you want to do. I wanted to curse so bad. Like, why do I want to curse? You know, whatever you want to do. So, yeah, you know, it's just I look forward to, because right now for me, this is my final chapter, or at least for now. I feel like I'm in my purpose of storytelling. So yes, it's tech, but tech is just the system behind creative direction. I get to finally be to live in the makeup, the fitness, the dancing, but like in a different way where it doesn't have to be me, but I can help someone else bring their vision to life and those things because I have those skills. So I think, you know, it's a beautiful feeling to say like, hey, I think I found what makes me happy. And I think that as I elevate and I continue to wear this hat of I am a storyteller, it's pretty cool. And like growing up, you didn't want to be a storyteller because you were a liar. But that's not what I mean. But, you know, like I get to professionally tell my story and help other people tell theirs. And I look forward to that. Yeah.
I love that for you.
Thank
I think it's such a fulfilling moment, even though you say you don't live life to be fulfilled. However, I'm going to play devil's advocate. To see it all come full circle and just like seeing how each skill and each hobby and interest you've had, how you've cultivated that right into a bigger picture, right? Aligned it with your purpose. And not a lot of people get to do that in this lifetime.
That's true.
A lot of people don't even know what their purpose is, right? And so to see you like just be so intentional in wanting to live it, breathe it, be it, it's dope. It's really nice to see. You're welcome. And then, you know, being transparent about it, right? Like, I feel like you went away for a little bit. You took your time. You kept your head down. Yeah. And then you're at a space where you're comfortable with expressing, you know. And, again, that's part of building community, right? Right. Sharing the real, the ugly, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Right. Because a few years ago, I would have been like, I would have been having my code switch voice on. You know, like now I'm just me. I feel relaxed. And I've seen a lot. I've done a lot. I've learned a lot. And I think that when you get to that point, you're just comfortable. There's going to always be some challenges. It's going to be some things that shake you up, but like, it's just like, I've done it already. I've done it already. I'm tired. I just want to have a soft life. So I have to do it the smart way. Yeah. And sometimes it's not going to make sense to anybody else. But if I know what the goal is, it'll make sense to me. And, they'll get to see exactly what I meant, when I'm done, when I present the final project.
All right. Let the people know they can find you. Any last words you want to leave them with?
Okay. Well, I changed my Instagram to So Technically Speaking, which is something that I also will kind of put out there. I want to make like a series of my journey in tech. Nice. But thank you. So you can find me at So Technically Speaking. I guess you can also put I Am LaChina B too, and you can find me that way. I'm trying to like get back on different ones. I guess Instagram right now is fine. I guess my last final word to leave with everyone is you are your biggest project, and you get to reinvent yourself as many times as you want to. Yeah. And it's nothing wrong with that. And I think that you should find the joy in it and not look at it as failure. It's just, life is that way. You're going to always continue to grow. So you just have to embrace that. Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love that. You're welcome. Well, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow her on Instagram. Stay tuned for what she's working on. And if you have any tech questions or advice, perhaps she might be open to some. Okay. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Honesties, I shall see you all next week. Bye.